Welcome to 23 Degrees Sideways. All got very complicated again. Got to remind yourself every week or so to simplify. It's one of the problems with the homestead or escape property building projects thing is it gets complicated. There's always this, but I need this, but I need this, but I need this. And then you end up with 20 projects and it gets complicated and frustrated and got to release that, let it go. Simplification is not a goal for everyone. In fact, there's a movement right now of people denigrating and looking down on it. The idea of van life or nomadism or a simple house, a smaller house, less space to take care of, all of that. People are like, well, it's a failure. You're celebrating failure. I'm like, no, I really don't see that. I think a lot of people are trying to reclaim importance in their lives that goes beyond making money. Our society is very programmed around that. The making money thing is your value, your store of value as a human is how hard you work and how much money you make. Damn. That sucks. But I try to escape that. I try to maintain my escape from that. I've successfully escaped it. And if I remember myself, if I remember my awareness, if I turn on, then I can keep that. I keep that at the forefront, keep that important in my head. One of the nice things about being up here is that I can look at nature and, you get these thoughts. How would you work with it? How would you improve it? How would you do this? But I'm not here to farm. I'm here for my life, just to live, to experience, to grow, and to settle a little. Settle out some of the habits. We have a lot of socially programmed habits and importances. It's, for example, amazing to me how much of the stress that goes on in family dynamics and interpersonal relationships and domestic issues and suicide and everything comes down to money. Money is programmed as being your store of value for yourself, for your soul, not just like a way to buy food. If you don't want to go hunt it, it's like the core essential life thing. And if you have any money drama or stress, then your whole life collapses. That's not a good way. That's not a good program. It's not a good way to live. I think that there are ways to have a life that is successfully integrated into civilization, keeping the lights on. That doesn't require putting all of your survival stress and this low-grade stress into money the way we do now. And I definitely think that it is worse than it was a couple hundred years ago, even 100 years ago. So, there's that. This is a rambling morning post because I'm sitting out here, I'm just thinking. Survived another windstorm. Woo! Last night, or yesterday afternoon was pretty bad. It did actually settle out after 10 p.m., so that was nice. Makes it easier to sleep through the night when you have people that you're taking care of, that you're responsible for when the ear isn't flapping or making a lot of noise. So, random bits this morning. Build. That's what I'm doing up here. I'm trying to build. I don't know where the stopping point is on that. There's a couple certain specific levels of comfort that I want, and then I think I can relax into it, I've got enough done with the kitchen that I can relax into that, I can play with it now. It's time to make it pretty and put the roof on. but the roof requires the materials. The materials aren't here yet. But it's time to do the stucco and the paint and organize and make things pretty and stuff. It functions, so that's good. I don't know. When I'm doing the work, everything's fantastic. It's like there's a meditation of the effort. It's that right action thing again, because just building this it's a very good thing, But do I get an itch? Because I don't like not being on the road at least part of the time. Right now, I've got to deal with a couple things before I can just go on the road for a couple of weeks if I want to. And the world's in a little bit of a crazy space. One of the local shopping centers couldn't reopen after Easter because their copper got stolen. The wiring to the building got stolen over Easter weekend. That's you have, it just brings home a little bit about personal security issues and what are you doing? What are the personal security issues possible to living 90 minutes from government response? Ooh. I'm not too happy with the government, but, that's a long way. You're in charge of your stuff. That includes, first aid, but includes who's coming up to visit you, too. So, that was interesting to think about. Just something to ponder. It impinges your consciousness. And you can go on with a whole narrative story and what do you do and this and that and everything, or you can just accept it and allow it and release it, which is probably the best thing to do with most of life. When I did the first iteration of the Enlightenment course, that was really my big takeaway. Allow and accept. Enlightenment is one of those things that looks so different from the other side, and it's so simple and so easy, and it is so simple and so easy. But I look at Enlightenment social media groups. I'm in the space with them, and there's a lot of intellectualizing, a lot of talking, a lot of programs, and a lot of importances, and a lot of this and a lot of that, and allow and accept. It really breaks down. You gotta. I guess you have to constantly, if you're going to think about it, talk about it, be in a community about it, whether it's just light socialization over tea, or deep teaching. You need that word. It seems to me that it is ideal to keep an eye on the brain and the mind and not trap yourself out of experience by over-intellectualizing and over-theorizing. Nothing wrong with understanding theories and pragmatics and understanding, but you can lose the direct experience by theorizing about the experience while it's going on, instead of living the experience, being aware. Allow things to happen, allow it to happen, and accept it. That doesn't mean, of course, that you give up. Acceptance doesn't mean you can't change anything. Acceptance actually gives you the power to change things, because you have to accept what's there first. Then you can change it, And that's not completely right either, because there are times where you look at something and you just have a denial of its existence. Just that big primal no, and then you overcome it somehow, There's kind of enforce a different reality on the universe. So there's that. Nothing ever seems to be a universal truth, even the universal truths. So this is the morning ramble for today. The stuff is coming along. I have been getting a little trapped in errands and materials, because you have to get the materials to do the job and stuff, and let go, allow, and accept makes things go so much more easily. Also, just getting a couple hours of the work done clears your mind and makes everything better. So there's that. Also, I'm starting a new recovering my way of eating, my diet and my inputs, my regular environmental inputs. So there's a little bit of body adjustment to that, and bodies can be a little bit of a bitch to deal with when you're changing their mode, you know. So that's been going on for the last couple of days, but it once again, as long as you remember yourself, it's all good. Well, I'm off to pour concrete into cinder blocks. Stay sideways.